What is up, YouTube? It's Doc here, Docky Style Gaming, and I am back at it again with another Risk of Rain video for you all today. And finally, after months of waiting and months of the hype, we got our first expansion for the sequel. Now, right now, it is only available for PC, but it will be coming in Q2 for all other platforms. But in this video, I'm going to be breaking down all of the new stuff that's coming with the Survivor of the Void expansion, and there is a lot to break down. So like I always say, without wasting any more of y'all's time, let's hop straight into this video. So as I mentioned in my previous video, I have recently started playing Risk of Rain, and I have been enjoying every second of it. Again, still kind of salty nobody had told me how fun the game was ahead of time, but as I've been playing, I had been looking forward to the new expansion. So now that it is finally here, let's just take a look at everything that just dropped with the recent update. So the Survivor of the Void's expansion is the very first for the game that is introducing a lot of new elements, such as new survivors, new in-game bosses, new stages, and a whole new game mode, along with a lot of increased difficulty. And what's pretty dope about this also is that even if you have the expansion, you can still co-op with players that have the base game. So for the players who are hoping that they won't be missing out on playing with their friends who do have the expansion, luckily you'll still be able to. And honestly, if you have the DLC, playing with friends that don't might be a good way to persuade them into picking it up, because they'll get to experience everything that you do if they play with you. So they'll get to see the new monsters, new levels, the new items, and everything. The only thing they won't have access to is, of course, the new survivors that are introduced in the game, along with some of their unlocks, like their cosmetics and new abilities. They'll still need to buy the DLC if they want to have access to those. But speaking of playing the game, there's also an addition of 41 new items added to the Survivors of the Void's expansion. There's 18 items that are normal items, and then 14 additional ones that have corrupted Void versions. Now, these Void versions you can find from things called Void Cradles. Whenever you interact with them, it'll take away 50% of your health, but it will give you a powerful Void item, making the risk worth the reward. Now, when you activate the Void Cradle as well, it will release a Void Critter. These are super fast little creatures that run across the map, and if they reach an enemy in time before you can destroy them, they'll turn that normal enemy into a void enemy. So just make sure you kill that creature while you're also picking up your increased void item, because if you don't, the creature can spread and run and power up other enemies on the map. Now, along with some of the new items and the void items and the void cradles, there's also a couple of new interactables on the map as well that can create some pretty interesting effects that you can use in your encounters. And since the expansion just came out, I think I'm going to save some of those because I think I want players to experience those for themselves. And if you want to check and see what all of those items do, or at least keep track of them, once you unlock them, you can always go to your logbook and check out each of the items individually. Now, along with new items, new interactables, these new void cradles, void enemies, there's also just all new enemy types in game. There's new monsters, there's 3 new bosses, including a brand new one, which is how you'll unlock one of your new characters. There's also 2 new elite types in the game as well, and a new assassin monster type that pretty much are invisible right until they sneak up on you. So on top of all of that was added, the new enemy types, the new items, the new survivors, and the new void cradles, there's also a brand new game mode called the Simulacrum. Now, the Simulacrum is essentially a endless horde mode that sends the player to a void simulation, and the only way it will end is if you or your teammates die. Now, you will respawn every wave, but each wave there will be multiple enemies for you to kill. Once you kill them all, it will let you choose an item to attach, and then you head on to the next wave. Now, every 5th wave is a boss wave, but will also move the safe zone. So you're going to want to follow it and stay within its perimeter while you're playing the game, because if you stay out in the void, you will pretty much die. But while the safe zone starts to move is when you want to make sure you are out grabbing as many extra chests as you can with all of the cash that you're stocking up on. Now, every 10 waves you have a higher chance at a rarer item, but you will also go to a completely different zone, which will also spawn more hordes of endless enemies, and you'll essentially repeat that cycle every wave, every 5th wave, and every 10 waves. of killing enemies, getting items, defeating a boss, following the safe zone, and then ultimately heading to the next zone after the last 5 waves. Now honestly, Simulacrum was the game mode I have played the most since it has come out, because I was not expecting it to be as fun as it was, but I literally am only playing that, even though I know there are other things for me to be doing in terms of fighting some of the new bosses and unlocking the Void Fiend, but the Simulacrum game mode is incredibly fun. Now, on top of everything that I just listed in this expansion, there's still so much more that is in it, along with 5 new stages like the Sulfur Pools or the Siphon Forest, and along with the new in-game stage. And then speaking of the new in-game stage, there's also an alternate in-game boss. Now, there are 3 different ways to get to this boss in particular, but I'll list one of them now and I'll list the other 2 when I go over that boss encounter in a separate video. But one of the ways to look out for to get to this new boss stage and boss encounter, so after stage 3, you'll encounter a purple orb that will randomly appear. Now, encountering this orb will transport you to the new boss stage. Yes, within the 3rd stage, you can teleport to this brand new boss fight. And let's just say it is well worth it to kill that boss. Now, there's still a whole lot to actually dive into with this expansion, like all of the different items and a complete breakdown on the brand new survivors, but I will save that for a separate video because this one's already pretty big in terms of new information and new items and things coming to the game with this expansion, but there's still a whole lot that I need to go a lot more in depth with in separate ones. So that's all I got for this video right now. Let me know if you've picked up the Survivor of the Void expansion. Right now on Steam, it is actually on sale for 35% off, so it is $9.74 currently, but after March 8th, it will go up to $15 for the expansion. But honestly, you're getting a whole lot from this expansion as is, so I kind of recommend picking it up now. But even if you paid $15 for it, you're still getting a whole lot to the base game as a whole. Now again, currently the update is only for PC as of right now, but it will be coming to the other platforms in Q2 of 2022. So stay tuned if you are playing this on PS4, PS5, Xbox, or Nintendo Switch. But other than that, if you have been playing the expansion, let me know what you've been thinking of it and what your new favorite item is in the game. But other than that, I'm going to wrap it up. So thank you all for watching. Like always, be sure to join the Discord if you haven't. Link to that is in the video description. I'll be having a whole channel for Risk of Rain 2 if any people are interested in that game and looking for groups. So I'll have LFGs on there in the Discord as well. And if you haven't followed me on Twitch, I highly recommend you do, because I will be streaming a lot of Risk of Rain 2 in this expansion probably today. So link to the Twitch channel is in the description as well. Other than that, I will catch y'all all on the next one. So thank you all for watching. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the subs. Peace.